Good morning.
I actually have starting words.
Oh, you do? Oh, you do?
you
Oh,
do.
okay. Oh, okay. Okay, cool.
Oh, sorry. Good morning. I am the Reverend Christine Dance, and I am proud to be the minister here at the Unitarian Universalist Congregation of Phoenix. I use she and her pronouns. And what an exciting, amazing service you have today for you. Before I get started, there is a 2003 Nissan in the parking lot with flashers on, enough that it will kill your battery by the end of service. So if you have a 2003 Nissan, you might want to think about going and seeing if your flasher's on. Today's service is all about our congregation's children and their teachers and some amazing music here. We've got Taylise and Peter and Donna will be leading songs that our children know. And we will begin with Come, Come, Whoever You Are. Please rise, embody, and sing with us.
Lover of leaving, ours is no caravan of despair. Come yet again, come, 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 wherever you are, wanderer, worshiper, lover of leaving, ours is no caravan of despair. Come yet again, come. Worshiper, lover of leaving, ours is no caravan of despair. Come yet again, come.
Take a breath and look at them. And they froze, completely immersed in the sacred work of play. To some, it might seem like simple fun, but here in this community, we know better. Play is worship. Play is faith development. When our youngest ones build with blocks, when they chase each other with delight, or invent whole worlds from their imagination, they are practicing what it means to be community. In children's ministry, our facilitators don't just supervise play, they create a space where Unitarian Universalist play can flourish. Here, play is shaped by our values: interdependence, pluralism, justice, transformation, generosity, and equity, all centered in love. It's less about whether they learn to light a chalice or recite history, and more about whether or not they learn how to be together with joy and with fairness and with love. Because learning how to be together, they're learning how to be Unitarian Universalist. Let's see, Gianna and Jera and John Reed. It takes all of us to be a community. It takes many of us to keep the chalice lit. There's the chalice. Gianna, if you could grab the flame. And we all know the words together. Love is the doctrine of this congregation. The quest for truth is our sacrament, and service is our prayer. To dwell together in peace, to seek knowledge in freedom, to share our strength in fellowship, thus do we covenant.
This is the best worship backdrop ever. Again, welcome, welcome. I am the Reverend Christine Dance, and in this sacred space, we celebrate all of humanity. We recognize what we all have to give to this congregation, no matter what age we are. We look for our diversity to guide us, and we are surrounded by the boundless love that unites us all. The Unitarian Universalist Congregation of Phoenix strives to be a spiritual community for our time, one that is theologically diverse, radically inclusive, and justice-centered. Our doors swing wide open to embrace all who seek a welcoming place. May our worship today be a source of inspiration, a comfort in challenging times, and a call for action. I met a whole bunch of new folks here when they were coming in, and I'm going to have you just raise your hands in a second. But first, can I have folks from the Beth and Me temple who worships here every other Friday? Can I have you raise your hands? There they are, right over there, a whole group of them. So a week ago, Friday, a whole bunch of our kids, especially those in our Crossing Paths curriculum, went to the Beth and Me service. Broke challah with them, participated in their service, and invited them to come to our service today. So we are so thrilled to have you with us. We're so thrilled to be sharing space with you. Thank you for being here. If it is your first or second time being here today, can you raise hands so we can see who is here? Excellent. Wonderful. We are so glad that you found us and that you are, like us, seeking community of people with similar hearts in these difficult times. Each Sunday is different here, so please come back a few times to really get to know us. This week is our Children's Sunday, a time when our youngest voices and their sacred playfulness lead us in worship, where we understand that our whole lives we are worshiping in different ways. As we gather in covenant, we remember that not everything is for everyone, and that can be a beautiful thing. You are invited to watch, to experience, and sink into worship in the ways that have meaning and call to you. Note that when things are really touching your heart, even if it's different than what has normally touched your heart, and when other things feel like they might not be for you, and you can, during that, you can let it be an offering for you. You can sink into your prayers, you can meditate, you can absorb, and you can let yourself be held by this community and this sanctuary. For those joining online and for all of us, there may be moments like what you just saw where you can't hear, and there are moments where we are just witnessing. Some we will explain, but some we want you to just be in the moment and see it and be with it. Because this too is worship. This too is belonging. Let us be fully present here together. It is the second week of our stewardship month, and I would love to invite John Palumbo to come up here for a few announcements.
This is awesome. Good morning. I'm John Palumbo. My pronouns are he, him, and I am the head of the stewardship committee. And so I wanted to update you guys on how our pledge campaign is going. We've had 153 pledges at this point for a total of a little over $352,000, which is absolutely amazing. However, that means we still have work to do because we are about $263,000 short of our goal. And that is a goal that does not have room for adjustment because it's a bare minimum budget for us to get by. So if you haven't pledged yet, ask you to go to phoenixuu.org/pledge, or after the service, you can see our lovely volunteers at the back of the sanctuary, and they can help you out. And pledge. If you've already pledged and your finances, you realize maybe you have a little more to give, just email us at stewardship@phoenixuu.org, and we can help you with adjusting your pledge. Now, I also, last week we said we'd have a raffle for those that pledged by the end of that Sunday. And so I have the winners of our pledge and these lovely gift cards to give out. So I'd like to call up our winners of our pledge, Nick and Jessica Pineda, Amanda Rogers, and Mira Shaw. So amazing. And if you didn't win, don't worry, because anybody that has pledged by the end of today will be entered for a $25 gift certificate. And anybody that pledges by the end of next Sunday will be entered for another $25 gift certificate. So thank you, everybody, for your generosity. Let's keep this pledge going so we can give Reverend Christine the gift of having a completed pledge campaign before she goes on sabbatical. Thank you.
And now let us draw deeper into the present moment and into our worship.
Hello. My name is Bela. Our opening words are from James Baldwin. Children, not yet aware that it is dangerous to look too deeply at anything. Look at everything, look at each other, draw their own conclusions. I now invite our sparks to the chalice. Chancel.
So we invite our Sparks kiddos and Jez, their facilitator, up to the chancel.
I'm a spark.
You are.
Okay, Chica, stop it. Yeah, you stop it. I'm a spark.
Good morning. Is this mic working? So my name is Mix Jez. I use they, them pronouns, and I help facilitate the Navigators group and our Sparks age group for the church. I'm just going to take a minute to get this off. So one of the fun things we started last year to just basically help our youth, who are very diverse, feel like their voice is heard more. And especially this year, it was even more important as attacks on DEI are happening. In February, we began learning about Black History Month as a part of our group. If you are any of the youth or adults that have seen the posters around campus and scanned one of those QR codes, could you raise your hand if you've ever done that? So it's a small thing that our group does as a religious educator. Sometimes we fill the gaps of education they don't receive in other parts of the world. And I want to give our youth who have been in that class a chance to share a little bit about how that has sat with them and how they feel about it. Jonas, would you like to share how things have been for you attending Navigators?
Well, this is my first time.
Yeah, into the mic. What's your name?
Jonah.
Jonah. How does it feel coming to the Navigators class for you?
Happy.
Happy?
Yep.
What helps you feel happy there?
I'm just happy.
Yeah?
Yeah.
How has it felt learning a little bit in that class?
It's going great. And I'm from Ethiopia.
What was that? What was that?
And I'm from Ethiopia.
Nice.
Anyway, so clap if you want.
One of the other things that our group has done is working in the garden. And I was curious, do you remember working in the garden, Jonah?
I forgot where. Whether.
Well, one of the times Jonah was here, he helped us pick some of the weeds out of the garden, and it was a lot of fun having his help. Yeah. Who else from the Navigators class would like to share some of the things they've done? Bela?
I'm okay.
Jared?
I planted some seeds and plants in the garden. Yeah, it was fun.
Do you want to share about working in the garden? You don't have to. Does anyone else either... Oh, Bela, yeah?
We read in a group a lot. Yeah.
How's that make you feel to have a group where you can read and learn together?
It's actually quite calming.
Emmers, if I can get the mic over to you, would you care to share how working in the garden and seeing the garden has been? And maybe if you recently took something home from it?
We're going to talk together. Hi, I'm Emrys. This is my son Natine, and our other son Sol is somewhere. We helped with all the planting, so we did a big day a few months ago of pulling out some weeds, putting a bunch more topsoil in, and then some seedlings and seeds. And when we came last Sunday, what did we see in the garden? Do you remember a big, big broccoli? And we picked that broccoli, and we all ate that broccoli for dinner last Sunday. Yeah. But I always just appreciate the opportunity for anything multi-generational and just that connection to, even in Phoenix, you can do amazing gardening. And right here at UUCP, grow your own dinner.
Cool. I believe that's it for our group. Thank you very much for giving us time to speak, Katie.
Thank you so much, Sparks. So Sparks is our group from age 5-ish to 12-ish. We're not super strict about what age you are, and specifically not about what grade you're in school, because Sunday school is not a school. Say it with me. Sunday school is not a school. You do not get a grade, and you cannot fail, right? Okay. And age-wise, we like to keep kids in the space that they're comfortable. So you might be a 4-year-old who has a big sister who's 7, and you're really into investing with what your 7-year-old big sister is doing, so you're a Spark. You might be a 15-year-old who really, really wants to help and work with the little kids, younger kids, so you're a Kindle. Our Kindle are our 0 to 5-year-olds, like Knox. Our Sparks is that middle age, and then our Flames is the oldest kids. Yes, you're middle-aged. So like Jez talked about, the Navigators group does a huge piece on Black History Month every year. They do things like read really intense poetry by amazing Black artists. In fact, this week, the poster is about James Baldwin, who did our opening words. You'll find on some of the seats posters. Donna, would you hold that up in the air? With a QR code. If there wasn't one on your seat, look up and down the row and ask a person if you could borrow it to scan the code, okay? And they're also out front. They also worked in the garden and grew things in the garden. They also do a whole lot of serious play. And in fact, Nick Pineda and John Palumbo, who I'm gonna invite up, lead our Legos curriculum. And that curriculum works to recognize the power of familiar toys and familiar objects as part of faith development. And I'm gonna have you take the mic that Jez had and share that mic. And I'm gonna interview them a little bit. Are you prepared?
Yes.
So how do you see the kids engaging with their faith while using Legos?
You talked about it a little bit earlier, but we get to see how they work through cooperation because there's only so many Legos, and you see them all the time asking for Legos that another kid has and trading, and oh, I'm looking for this particular head or body part, and another kid will help them look for it. So the cooperation, the helping, the sharing, you see it every day with them.
Yes, and then I'd also add questioning what tradition is and what their place is. A lot of the kids are asking, why do we only have yellow Legos for yellow people in the yellow colors, and why doesn't this necessarily reflect me? And that's something that we're trying to help change, because Simpsons and Legos have taught us that yellow is actually white, and we're trying to help them understand how to, change that and find those colors and how Lego has changed that history and how that reflects kind of our society. Like Lego didn't actually introduce a person of color until 2005, and it was, anybody got a guess? Billy D. Williams for Lando Calrissian. So yeah, that's wild. So yeah, that's something I get to teach them, and that's cool to me.
So what's something you've seen the children learn or express that has helped deepen your understanding of our shared values?
For me, kind of like geometry and working with your hands. It's kind of cool that this is an extenuation from last year where it was toolbox, and they're still working with their hands and kind of working in cooperation. And I've seen time management, and I've seen cleanup, working together, and cooperation, and community all kind of together in one. It's been real kind of great.
I'll give you one example of something that really changed my perspective. So we had a story that one of the kids asked to read the story, and it was a very challenging book. A lot of difficult words they're unfamiliar with, but one of the other kids encouraged that kid to read the story and said, "It'd be awesome. I'm excited to have you read." So that kid read the story and a lot of times had to stop and ask, "What is this word?" and things like that. And the other kids started helping. So if they knew the word, they'd say, "It's that word." They were saying, "You're doing a good job," encouragement. And amazingly, even though the story was going very, very slowly and it was a long book, everyone stayed focused the entire time. And they didn't stay focused because they're taught in school that when somebody's reading, you pay attention. They stayed focused because they cared about the kid that was reading and they wanted to show that they cared. And so that really taught me that these kids are amazing, and they hold our values sometimes in a lot easier way than we do.
Thank you both so much, and thank you for leading that curriculum. Now I invite two of our flames, Aurora and Monica, up to the podium. And I'm going to change the script right here while I'm standing at it. There you go, ladies.
Hello, I am Aurora, and Monica is my helper. Each week, we split our offerings between this congregation and an organization that shares our values. For February, our Share the Plate partner is Universal Unitarian Justice Arizona, or UUJZ. AJZ, or empowers UUs across the state to work for social just public policies. UUJAZ is also a tangible example of how varied and vibrant ministry can be in universal Unitarianism. For all that you give, we are so grateful. Ushers, thank you for your willing hands in helping us pass the plate. Thank you.
This morning during the passing of the plate. That is a Shaker dance hymn. And Talise will play through it once for us.
when we find ourselves in a place just right to wait in the calling of godlike light. When true simplicity is gained, to bow and to bend we shan't be ashamed. We'll turn, will be our delight. Till by turning we come out right. Thank you.
We recognize that our lives are always interconnected. Part of our journey as a community is sharing significant milestones and joys and sorrows. For those of you who are online, you can put a note in chat in the Zoom, and if you want us to read your joy or sorrow in person here next week, there's a table just in the back with a candle lit where you can fill out a card here. We have a few today. The Stevenson Brown family says, "We are so proud of Leo and his performance yesterday with the Arizona Southwest Regional Orchestra concert." So congratulations, Leo. That look of embarrassment, Leo, was worth every bit of that. We have one here on online from Jarrett Ransom. "Please send well wishes to my husband, Josh Scott, as he heals from his mountain biking accident last week. He broke 6 ribs, dislocated some fingers, and lacerated his liver. Considering the injuries, we are so fortunate he is at home and making progress every day on his healing journey. And please send me patience as I navigate the new role of caregiver to my husband and his daily activity needs." Sending big, big love to both of you for this really dramatic change in your lives. Let us know how we can help you. I have from Teresa. Teresa says, "With the power of and," that's a flashback to an earlier sermon. Thank you for paying attention to what I say. "I am sorry that I can't sign the membership book on February 23rd, and I am joyful that I could even consider membership in this radically inclusive Justice Center beautiful," that's spelled out, just beautiful, right? "Beautiful, beautiful congregation." So Teresa, you are part of us no matter what formality we have there. Thank you. And from Jez, Mixed Jez, who we heard from earlier, is reminding us of just what is going on in the world right now. "The rights of trans youth to access gender-affirming care is under attack by the president. Please pray for them and to have access to medical care return." And I'm just going to add our own here in Phoenix. Last Monday, Phoenix Children's Hospital announced that they would be discontinuing gender-affirming care. And then a number of the smaller clinics have also done this. Many of us as ministers are writing a letter to the editor. We're also doing whatever we can. They have preemptively capitulated to something that has not come down out of fear. And whatever you can do to write, to call, and tell them that this is cruel, and it's inhumane, and it's not how we care for people, we ask for you to please do that. Thank you so much, Jez, for bringing that to us as well. I have from the Pineda family, Nick, who you just saw up here. His family says, "We are so proud of our daddy who was offered 2 jobs this week." And then a second one, "And please help the universe ensure that he gets the one he wants this week. Love, Knox and Matthew." And from Karen Thomas, Karen online says, happy to be here today, joining from New Hampshire. My son and fiance moved to here and suggested I check you out. We are so glad you're here, Karen, and we hope to get a chance to meet you soon. So with a deep breath and love in our hearts, may our joys and our sorrows, those named and those held in the silent sanctuaries of our hearts, may they help us draw closer and care for each other. So might it be. Your computer went dark. I've got mine back.
Amen. Service is our prayer, as it says in our covenant. The teens in our congregation are an amazing illustration of stewardship, building community, and feeding faith life. They truly embody service is our prayer. I invite up 3 of our flames, Leo, Nigel, and Gio. And I'm going to ask the 3 of you all the same question, and I know that each of you has a very, very different answer. So my question is, in what ways do you actively contribute to life of this congregation? I'll have you step right here.
I actively contribute by being a worship associate and helping people out when they're new. And yeah.
Okay. I'm not as tall as Gio, but I'm Nigel, and a couple ways that I help out my community is I help with setting up food. I fill in for some of the people who work with the kids when they're sick. I generally I'm just around and always ready to help, so.
Good morning, I'm Leo Stevenson Brown. I am both a member of the congregation and a member of the congregation's board. So that is the way that I serve my community. I am a youth representative of the UUCP board. And with that comes many amazing responsibilities. I get to be more connected with the community itself and also the problems that it faces. I get to change the community in the way that I would like. There are 2 of us. One of us isn't here today, unfortunately. But we work together to make the congregation better for everybody, including the youth.
So these 3 are not just random teens who hang out in the teen chapel. These are your community members. They are on committees with you. When you're wondering where the coffee is, some of them are making the coffee. Sometimes I have people come to me and say, it would be great if we could get the youth more involved. At this point, if they're going to get more involved, we're going to have to pay them. In my 10 years of working here at UUCP, this is the most invested I have ever seen our youth group. That whether or not they show up for service every Sunday, but they pretty much do, they show up with their hands and their hearts again and again and again. And Nigel, all of them are very committed to our congregation, and Nigel's heart spoke to a quick little thing that as I was walking up here, he said, you have to mention this. Kids camp. Every June, we have sometimes up to 100 kids here on campus for the whole month of day camp. And do you know who serves as counselors for those kids? These guys. How many of you want to spend 5 days a week with 20 kids at your responsibility? Right. If you ever need to know how to stack chairs, ask these guys. Don't ask them to just stack them for you, but they'll tell you how to do it. We can all do it together. I really want to say thank you to the three of you and all of our flames. There's our few who are sitting down still. I am so amazed and honored to be in community with you all, because your Flames group is just super powerful and embodied and amazing, and I love covenanting with you. So thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you, Flames.
So this next hymn is a Hebrew prayer for love and peace.
And we invite you to stand with us while we sing.
Stand with us and sing it.
We're going to sing the Hebrew first, followed by English, then Hebrew again, then English.
Thank you.
No.
Thank you.
Yes.
Ah.
On Friday, February 7th, our youth in the Crossing Paths program attended a service right here by Temple Bethany, the Jewish synagogue that rents from UUCP. We invited them to attend this service, and I know you're here in the back. Thank you. Welcome. At that service, we found out that we have a song in common, the Jewish peace song, Olam Hesed Ibaneh, which means build the world with love. Don't worry, those are all the Hebrew words. And feel free to stand with us and sing.
Thank you.
I would like to invite all of our children's ministry adults to come forward. If you help facilitate a class, if you donate materials, if you parent one of our amazing children, have a seat up here on the steps. There's a chair there. To dwell together in peace. In times of struggle, it's easy to feel powerless. The weight of injustice, loss, or uncertainty can leave us wondering what we can do, how we can move forward, or whether our efforts even matter. But here in this community, we see another way. In children's ministry, our facilitators step forward not because it is easy, but because they know that shaping the world begins with holding each other. They model compassion, curiosity, and courage. They listen, they teach, they show up. Even when the world feels chaotic, they remind us that every small act of care plants the seeds of transformation. Their work teaches all of us that the contribution is not just a way to survive hard times, it's how we create change. By investing in the growth of others, we find our own strength. By giving, we receive. By guiding, we discover our own path forward. Together, please enter into a spirit of reflection and prayer with me. A prayer and blessing for our facilitators and for all of us. Spirit of love that moves within and among us, hold us steady in times of uncertainty. When the world feels heavy, help us lift it together. When we feel small, remind us that even small hands can build great things. When despair threatens to quiet our hearts, may action be our song. May we learn from those who teach, from those who show up again and again, from those who shape the young hearts and minds, with patience, kindness, and the steady belief that love can be lived. Let us be builders of justice, guides for those who come after us, and seekers of the sacred in everyday work of caring for one another. In giving, may we be renewed. In serving, may we find our strength. And in community, may we discover the path forward together. Amen. Blessed be. to seek knowledge and freedom. Historically, children were taught what their faith should be. In Unitarian Universalism, we encourage an independent search for meaning and finding one's own spiritual path. That means not everyone's involvement looks the same, and that we make sure to learn about one another's path. I'd like to invite Eliza and Jonas up here to talk to me about it. You okay with it? You ready? So some of you may remember Eliza, one, because she's been here since she was very small, but also because anytime we need to talk about how important it is to learn about other faiths, I look at her and ask her to do it. And she rolls her eyes and she goes, "Again?" And I say, "Yeah, because the grown-ups keep forgetting."
Is this? Okay. Crossing paths has helped me to see that at their cores, religions are not supposed to be crazy, and mostly they all have things in common or the same ways to be good people. It hasn't, though, eliminated my judgment. There are still parts of other religions that I think are strange, but learning about why things are done and seeing it happen helps to understand why people do them. And ultimately, I think most people just want to feel safe. They believe in an afterlife or a God or some tradition can protect them. And in the long run, I think that kind of devotion is really respectable.
Oh, right. This one we had to coordinate because... Okay. Hi, Jonas.
Hi.
So I have some questions for you. What religion are you?
Christian.
You're Christian, but you're here. Where do you go to church?
UUCP in Scottsdale Bible Church.
So you go to 2 different churches?
Yes.
And you're a full member in both of those communities, and you're active in both of them?
Yes.
Okay. How do you know that UUCP is your community, even if you're not right in the middle of things?
Because I feel like I always have friends here.
And is there a place at UUCP where you feel especially comfortable at or at home?
The teen room.
Not up here in front of the mic, right? But you were willing to do it for your community?
Yes.
Thank you. What makes you, or how do you know that you're an important part of the community?
I feel like I'm always welcome here.
That everyone is welcome here and that you're part of that? Yeah. Thank you. I want you to remember that when you see people sitting in the back corners, or maybe even listening to service sitting on the stairs or in the Johnson room or somewhere else, that doesn't mean that they aren't part of the community, that they've separated themselves. It means that even though it was hard to come today, even though there are things that are hard about being in community, they showed up. And they are still here and still part of it. And they're still willing to be part of that community and do the work of community. And Jonas, thank you so much for doing that every week. Thank you, thank you, and thank you. Now I invite Oliver, Monica, Eden, Miss Ann, if you're up for it, and John Reed forward to lead us in a ritual reminding us of how we share our strength in fellowship. That was my computer, not the microphone.
Who's first? You are. Okay. Hi, I'm Oliver. I use he, him pronouns. Look around you at all these baskets of vegetables grown by the hands of our children. They are more than just food. They are an illustration of who we are as a community. They are a living reflection of our covenant.
Just as our children tended this garden, we tend to one another through love, through learning, and through acts of care. This garden, like our congregation, is a place of peace, a place of curiosity, and a place where we share our strength. It grows not just because of sun and water, but because of commitment, patience, and shared work.
I won't be able to read that anyway. I had to memorize mine. Children, you have shown us how to nurture and how to serve. As we pass this harvest through our community, may we carry with us the lesson of the garden to dwell together in peace. Dwell together in peace. To seek knowledge in freedom. To share our strength in fellowship. To share our strength in fellowship.
May these vegetables remind us that we are all connected to the earth, to one another, and to the future we are all growing together. May those who take this food home taste not only its flavor, but also the love, care, and commitment that brought it to life. We invite you to pass these baskets of vegetables throughout the congregation. Each person may take a piece home as a symbol of our shared work, our shared care, and our living covenant.
May these gifts nourish not just our bodies, but our spirit of community. May we continue to grow together. Thus do we covenant.
Before we close, can we show our appreciation to all of our youth, our leaders, our children's ministry who teach us not so much today, but every day. Thank you. Thank you. That was very generous. I think as a liberal faith, and Katie mentioned at the beginning, in so many other denominations, it's about teaching children rules and history and Bible stories or whatever it might be, and teaching how to be in community and how to love and how to care for each other and how to contribute feels like how we as Unitarian Universalists embody that. We also need to learn, I know the Legos group, they learned what the chalice was because they built a chalice out of Legos. They learn about social justice by learning about James Baldwin. All of those things are happening as well, but it is the community building that they are taking with their hearts and moving out into the world. And if we could have all of the world be like our children, we would be in a better shape. So before we close with our final hymn, we may remind you all to reach out to some of our new folks, our Beth and me friends, all of the new people who are here, other folks you haven't seen in a while. Our exploration hour activities for children and adults start at noon, which is in about a half an hour. They will be listed on the screen behind us. And today we have coffee hour, which is right out through the patio and in the Johnson room. And if today's service made you excited to work with our congregation's kids in any way, there is a sign up on the patio. Thank you for being here. Thank you, Children's Ministry. We will end with a final hymn.
We invite you to stand while Talise plays through the hymn, You Are Not Alone.
do we government. Go in peace, go in love.